Oh geez, Soulja Boy, what happened? I went to your website to go pick up this super cool Soulja Game Fuse console that goes for $400 that has a Tegra K1 processor in it that's actually less powerful than the processor in the Nintendo Switch, and I can't get it anymore. There's no more consoles on your website. What happened? Did Nintendo, SNK, and Capcom get to you because you're illegally selling their IPs? I bet you they did, and they weren't happy with it. I wonder if they're racist.
Skip it up and that up.
Oh, boy, this is going to be delicious because there's a whole bunch of people out there who have to have a nice tall glass of shut the fuck up. And I can't wait to watch them drink it. So I, along with many other YouTubers, have been following the Soulja Boy game console saga. And I've called him out on his bullshit since, well, the get-go. Because it's exactly what I just said. It's complete nonsense. And he was selling fraudulent hardware. On top of that, he was selling this fraudulent crap Chinese knockoff hardware, which you could get much cheaper at various other retailers for like 3 or 4 times the price. And to make matters worse, he was selling these consoles with a whole bunch of pirated games on them from Nintendo, from Sony, from SNK, from Capcom. The list goes on and on and on. Well, anyway, like I said, you had YouTubers like me and Dreamcast Guy, RGT85, Spawnwave Media, countless others, calling him out on it because he should have been called out on it. He was trying to make it like he was trying to be a legitimate player, no pun intended, in the games industry, and he was just selling knockoff consoles from China at insane prices illegally with a whole bunch of games on them that he shouldn't have been selling. And we said that eventually he was going to face legal ramifications for it. And it seems like that may be beginning. Now, of course, Soulja Boy, because I guess he has an ego bigger than his career ever was, when people like me, and again, all the various other YouTubers out there, I'm not going to mention them each time I talk about this, called him out on it. He kind of went on Twitter, puffing out his chest and making it like, yeah, Nintendo's not going to do anything to me. Here's some tweets. He has other ones where he's using homophobic slurs, which was real classy of him. And then he turns around and tries to use the race card, which you'll see right here. One of his tweets were where he isn't using any kind of slurs. For anyone that thinks Nintendo is going to sue me, you're retarded. Nothing's going to happen. Everything is legit. My console isn't going anywhere. Trust me. So out of all the people that Nintendo went after, Soulja Boy, that were distributing their ROMs, so on and so forth, I just did videos talking about how there was a couple that was getting sued for millions of dollars because they had 2 ROM websites. All the other people out there that were distributing their ROMs, they weren't going to go after you. They gave you the rights to distribute their games on this crappy knockoff hardware which emulates their games poorly. Just you. You got the rights to multiple Nintendo games, multiple Capcom games, multiple SNK games, multiple other third-party developers. I know you got about 30 million in the bank, but you got that kind of money? I don't think so. He continues too. He straight up lies right here. This is another tweet. Soulja Boy, he says, well, keep waiting. The games were licensed to us. Why y'all want to see a black man fail so bad? What does your race have to do with anything, Soulja Boy? Which we'll get more into the whole race thing in a minute because we were accused, not just me, but other YouTubers were accused of being racist for criticizing him and his bullshit consoles. But anyway, we'll get back to that in a few minutes. Let's continue. So here's Soulja Boy just a couple days ago being all arrogant saying, hey, these consoles aren't going anywhere. All these YouTubers just don't want to see a black man succeed. And I'm not saying that, so that's not coming out. That literally is what he said. Just a couple days ago, he was saying, hey, we got these games licensed to us. I can't believe he actually has the balls to lie about that. Everything's good, everything's legit, man. These YouTubers, these gaming community, they don't know what they're talking about. They're a bunch of, can't say the word that he used. Well, guess what? Just a couple days later, if you go to the Soulja Watch website, there's no game consoles on there. They're all gone. Now, of course, because he has too much of an ego, I don't know the guy personally. I could just tell from his Twitter that he thinks he's the best thing ever, which is amazing to me because, again, he hasn't been relevant in the rap industry since like a decade ago. He has an indirect tweet, okay? Because he won't say, hey, everyone call me out was right, because I'm sure he doesn't want to eat that much crow. But he says this. This was just yesterday. I had to boss up. I didn't have a choice. Gee, I wonder what you're talking about, Soulja. Are you talking about the fact that you had a whole bunch of knockoff consoles with hundreds upon hundreds of illegal ROMs on there that you didn't get the rights to sell, and finally those companies probably sent you countless cease and desist letters? Gee, I wonder if that's what you're talking about, because you put out that tweet and the consoles are no longer on your website. Gee, what a coincidence. Now, the most amazing thing was, and to see him actually have to take down these consoles is so satisfying, because a whole bunch of people out there are going to have to just sit in the corner and be quiet, is a couple days ago, and I fell for the bait, and I shouldn't have, I'll admit it. There were YouTubers out there and people on Twitter calling me and Dreamcast Guy, RGT, Spawn Wave out, saying that we were racist for calling him out. Why didn't we call out these Chinese knockoff companies in the past? We've had clone consoles on our channels, and we were okay with that, but not with these clone consoles from Soulja Boy. What's the difference? Oh, we must be racist because of it. Or people are like, I don't know if they're racist, but it's really suspect. I saw the videos, I saw people tweeting at me, and I'll explain to you what the difference is. First off, every product that I've reviewed on my YouTube channel has never had ROMs on them. Selling clone consoles is 100% legal. Selling flash cards like the EverDrive, they're 100% legal. Stone Age Gamer does not include any games from any kind of AAA developer out there on them. They may have like a homebrew game they may put on there, so on and so forth, but they don't put games on the EverDrives. Okay, how you get them is your own business. Whether you have, because I know they sell devices where you can actually put a cartridge in and turn it into a ROM, or whatever you do, they don't include games. The EverDrive carts they sell for the Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, N64, Game Gear, TurboGrafx 16, they're 100% legal because they're not distributing games. Okay, and that's the products that I've reviewed on my YouTube channel. I've never had any kind of product on here that included 800 pre-installed games, so on and so forth. I was actually trying to get, just to see what it was about, the Soulja Boy console, but I never got that either. And I heard a lot of other people ordered the console to either just purchase or review on their YouTube channels like me, Soulja Boy, and they never got them. What happened? Where did they go? Never even got a confirmation that I ordered it. Luckily, I did it through PayPal so I could get my money back, but that was a tad bit suspect as well. But here's the thing though, okay? It has nothing to do with his race, which really makes me angry that people pulled the race card. Here is the thing. If Soulja Boy was selling these clone knockoff consoles for like $10 more than you could get them on Amazon or whatever the case may be, I still don't think it would have been newsworthy. Okay, he would be like, all right, he's reselling these consoles. They're like $30 on Amazon. He's selling them for $40. He's making a little bit of money off the top. File that under who gives a shit. But where things got insane was he was selling these consoles for like 3 times the price, if not more. Okay, you could buy these for like $40 or $50 on AliExpress, but he was selling them for $150, $200. That Game Fuse console, which was a console meant for Chinese markets, okay, that failed. He was selling at a discount, according to him. It was supposed to go for, I think, $699 originally. He was selling for $400. $400. He was selling it for the same price that you could buy an Xbox One S or PS4 Pro. He was selling it for the same price you could buy an Xbox One X or PS4 Pro. A machine, a game console meant for Chinese markets that failed, that had a Tegra K1 processor in it. That processor is the predecessor to the Tegra X1 processor that is in the Nintendo Switch. It's also in the NVIDIA Shield TV, so it's less powerful. And he was trying to sell it as if it was like his version of the Xbox One X. He even had the balls, or whoever handles his website, had the balls to put up a screen cap image showing third-party developers on board for the Game Fuse. You couldn't get any shadier if you were a giant goddamn oak tree. That was what made us pay attention. Like I said, if he was just reselling those cheap knockoff consoles and made a few extra bucks off the top, I don't think people would have cared. It's the fact that he was selling these knockoff consoles, he was selling that at insane prices, and he was selling them with a bunch of illegal ROMs. Okay, it has nothing to do with the fact that he was black. Had nothing to do with his race. As a matter of fact, I swear on my children that I didn't even think about his race until people brought it up on Twitter saying, oh, Rich is just being racist and Dreamcast Guy's being racist. And then I was like, are you serious? I was like, why is this irrelevant rapper? The only thing I thought was, why is this irrelevant rapper from 10 years ago trying to resell these consoles at insane prices with illegal ROMs on them and trying to sell a console like it's the Xbox One X, okay, and pretending like it has third-party developers when it was a failed system from China from 2 years ago? That's what made me talk about him. If it was Macaulay Culkin, I would have talked about it just as much. If it was Spawnwave Media doing this, he had his own website trying to pull the same crap Soulja Boy was pulling, I would have talked about it just as much. Race had nothing to do with it. And if you're one of the idiots out there that used race, you are permanently irrelevant. You are permanently irrelevant because you used a cheap tactic to, one, get eyes on yourself, and two, to try to call out other YouTubers, and it's absolutely disgusting. Your opinion means nothing from here on out. Okay? That was a cheap tactic to get attention on you and to try to discredit other people, and it's disgusting. And just shut up and never talk again. Take this gigantic L and sit in the goddamn corner because you're morons. What amazes me too is the same people that are saying, oh, Rich is racist, he's just a clout chaser. First off, with the clout chasing thing, I've been talking mostly about gaming news and current events in the tech industry and even politics since 2011. I really haven't reviewed that much since 2011. Mine is here and there. I did the occasional review. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is what I do. I discuss the industry. It's not clout chasing. This is what I have interest in. It's what I've been doing now for about a decade. So I know some of the people who were commenting and criticizing, you aren't new to what I do. Now all of a sudden it's clout chasing. And secondly, to the people pulling the race card, let's dissect this a little bit. So you're saying I'm racist towards Soulja Boy. I'm showing the true me who's racist. Well, I've made multiple videos, countless videos on Bethesda and Fallout 76. And my prejudice against slender white men who wear leather jackets like Todd Howard, is that why I'm making those videos? I've made multiple videos on the whole Blizzard Activision fiasco when it comes to Diablo Immortal. Am I prejudiced or racist against companies that have names that are after inclement weather? Think about it. Why weren't you saying back then that I was clout chasing? Why weren't you saying back then that it was fake outrage? Why with Soulja Boy all of a sudden is that pulled? Why? See, it just proves that you're just trying to get attention on yourselves. I've criticized countless people on this channel. I've criticized countless corporations on this channel. I don't care about race. I don't care about anything except what the person or corporation has done. Race means nothing to me. It's about the character of the person or the character of the corporation. And my channel in and of itself, I don't even need to white knight, has proven that. And it just enrages me that you would use the cheap race card with this to try to either get attention on yourselves or to disavow what I've said about Soulja Boy. What he did was absolute bullshit, and he got called out on it, and now he's actually may face legal ramifications. I'm sure with all the publicity around him, if he wasn't facing legal ramifications, those consoles would still be on his website. What bothers me too is this. I wholeheartedly feel that racism exists. I am not in that camp. Oh, there's people out there who say racism is a myth. And I'm like, are you serious? I've seen racism with my own eyes. I've seen it in the flesh. Racism is a real thing that people have to deal with. Is that when you use the race card to chase some clout, like people did with this whole Soulja Boy fiasco, it waters down when real racism happens. When racism should be called out, when there is people in the black community who are being discriminated against and they should call out racism, and they're like, hey, these people are being racist towards us. This is dangerous. This is harmful to us. When it really happens, which it does really happen, when you have clout chasers like the idiots that use the race card with Soulja Boy, it becomes the boy who cried wolf effect. So when there's real racism and people should call it out, everyone's like, oh, they're just pulling a Soulja Boy. They're just saying, they're just using the race card. There's no real racism going on. You hurt your own cause. Because racism does really exist. It should be called out when it exists. And when you do stupid shit like this with Soulja Boy, it waters it down. It makes people not believe when racism is called out. And for the people who use the race card with the whole Soulja Boy situation to get some eyes on your YouTube channel or your Twitter or whatever the case may be, you should be ashamed of yourself. You hurt your own cause. But you know what, though? I don't think you care. You don't really care about if there's racism here. You don't really care about any of that. You just wanted people to pay attention to you. Oh, look, we're calling out these YouTubers with decent followings, And hey, we're going to call them racist. So now people will pay attention to us. You don't care about the cause. You're vain pieces of crap and you only care about people paying attention to you. And it's absolutely disgusting. And you 100% should be ashamed of yourself. At the end of the day, we were being critical of a person who was doing something shady and we called him out on his bullshit. Nothing less and nothing more. And I will say this now, anybody who used the race card with this Soulja Boy situation from here on out should be deemed irrelevant. You don't care about opinions, you just care about causing drama. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.
Hey, congratulations! If you made it to the end of the video, you should subscribe to Review Tech USA so you can hear me blabber on some more. Also, too, starting this month, I will be live streaming solely on Twitch. I'll have a link to my Twitch channel below in the description. And last but not least, make sure you click that like button. It helps out the show big time. See you guys in the next video.